Yes, sir.
Warren Drake, Superintendent of EBR Schools. We have 41,000 students in 83 school sites, and we have an obligation to protect our students, our families, and our employees. So this is to let our community know, let our schools know, our principals know that we've been working very diligently on a plan. First off, we want to be very proactive. We are sanitizing our schools to a higher degree than we ever have. We are sanitizing our buses to a higher degree than we ever have. And let me start by saying that as of this moment, we don't have any reported cases of coronavirus in our schools or in our city at this point. But I will say this is an unprecedented situation that's rapidly evolving as you listen to and read the news, that things are happening very, very quickly. So we have an obligation also to provide services to our children. We have 41,000 children who really rely on us every day. So I believe that the best place for our children is in our schools. So we don't have any plans of closing our schools, but we do want to limit the external association in our schools, and that's one of the things I'll be talking about today. Limiting the external interaction with adults and being proactive. So with that said, let me say some of the things that we are doing. We have 40 nurses that are prepared to work with our children in all of our schools. They're well trained. Parents are understanding of this. Principals know that we've also set up a hotline, and that hotline is hotline@ebrschools.org, where we can get an email in if there's a question on anything. So beginning Monday, this coming Monday, March 16th, all school and district-sponsored travel will be canceled or postponed until further notice. Let me say that again. Beginning Monday, March 16th, all travel, domestic and international, will be canceled or postponed. Most of the trips that were planned have self-canceled or given opportunities for parents to not lose their investment in that trip, and so they've been postponed to a future date. The district is also encouraging all departments and schools to not plan any future travel at this time. All district and school events will be canceled or postponed until further notice. This includes after-school events or programs during the day where the public would be invited. Let's just say muffins with moms or donuts with dads. We're trying to limit the adult external interaction in our schools. Our school families are strong, and they will interact, and they will have certain things in their schools, such as extended day programs will continue. After-school tutoring will continue. On-campus extracurricular practices will continue as planned. And all high school athletic events will continue as planned, pending further updates from the Louisiana High School Athletic Association. The district is encouraging departments to transition professional development to online professional development and not face-to-face. And we understand that families need to make choices in their best interest. At this time, we will follow the policies of the East Baton Rouge Parish School Board for attendance for students and for employees. But as I said earlier, this is a very, very rapidly changing situation. So as needed, we will make those decisions that are in the best interest of our students, families, and employees. Standardized testing is coming up after the Easter, beginning in April. So we will defer to the State Department of Education for guidance on that, just as we did and will with the Louisiana High School Athletic Association. I think it's real important to note that we've been very proactive. Aramark, our partner, has been very proactive in cleaning to a standard above what has normally been expected. And so with that, I will take any questions that you may have.
Superintendent, going back to the district and school events that are canceled, I know it says the things that are going to continue as planned. More specifically, what are those after-school events or programs that will not be continued?
Anything that's been regularly happening in the schools will continue, like the after-school programs. We have YMCA programs. They're part of that school family, they will continue. Field trips are going to be canceled or postponed. So that is off campus to a site where they're interacting with adults. That's what we're trying to avoid right now.
Athletic events, I know you said those will continue. What about fan attendance? Will that be limited, or?
The Louisiana High School Athletic Association will give us additional updates on that, and so we're waiting for that. At this time, the middle school athletic events are canceled. They are not a part of the High School Athletic Association, so all middle school athletics will be canceled. High school athletics will continue as scheduled at this point, but again, I expect additional updates from the High School Athletic Association that could change that.
As far as transportation goes, like buses, obviously lots of different students on buses every day. How are buses being handled as far as cleaning goes, keeping them safe?
Well, most of our buses are driven home by the employees, and so they are responsible for that cleaning. The interesting part of that is we have several layers of transportation, and it makes it more difficult to keep them as clean as we would like to. They may do high schools in the morning and elementary after the high schools in the morning. So that makes it more of a challenge, but we've challenged our employees from the transportation department to make sure that they let the drivers know, the operators know, that they need to be cleaning that as well. We've also encouraged hand sanitizers that they all have on their buses. That's what we've encouraged them to do as well, just to be as proactive as possible. We cannot, we have to continue living, and we have to continue operating, and I feel like, and I think our staff, we have a great staff here today. I think that we all agree that our schools are important to remain open to keep the continuity in our community. We are the heart of the community. EBR Schools is the heart of the community. We have over 5,000 employees and 41,000 students. So we definitely are the heart of the community, and because of that, we felt like it's important to give them guidance. If they weren't in school, they would be all over the place, and our families are working. They may be single family parents who work. So it puts a heavy burden on families when we give them that. We are in loco parentis, in place of the parent, and we want to stay in that mode right now.
As far as in the classroom, are there any extra procedures being put in place, such as hand wash timeouts or hand sanitizers being given to teachers or anything like that?
I think the teachers have the hand sanitizers. The often touched surfaces, desktops, door handles, all of those things are being cleaned to a level above that they normally are on a regular day, using a compound that kills virus. Yes.
Can you talk a little bit more about the decision to keep schools open, and how that debate went in the meeting earlier, and then also is there a trigger in place where y'all will reevaluate and consider closing schools?
Well, it wasn't a debate because every one of our staff feel like keeping schools open is the most important thing, and so that may change. But if that changes, it would be probably from the direction of the Board of Elementary and Secondary Education, the Bessie Board, or in the State Superintendent's Office. So we don't anticipate any changes in that right now, but again, we are moving very rapidly here. So we will defer to them for guidance on that. We do feel like it's important to keep schools open.
Obviously no cases yet. Do you know of any instances of employees or students or anybody involved with East Baton Rouge schools that is self-isolated or voluntarily self-quarantined?
Not at this time. We don't have any knowledge of that at this time. Hopefully and prayerfully we won't have that, but we are prepared if we do.
Have y'all looked at how districts around maybe the country or the state are handling this? Kind of talk about, maybe some outside influences that have helped.
Absolutely. I've been in contact with state superintendents all over the state today, as well as monitoring what other districts are doing around the nation. Certainly, if you're in a district that has multiple cases of this, the decision-making process and answer is going to be different, right? So we don't have that problem right now in East Baton Rouge Parish. So we don't have that issue, I guess, not problem, but issue. And so if that issue occurs, then we'll take a different look and a different method of going forward to make those decisions. But without an identified case or anyone who's even in isolation that we're aware of, we're going to move forward with schools being open, just limiting that adult external contact with our students.
One last one for me, at least. The parents at home that are concerned about this, students that are concerned about this, anything that you can tell them to kind of ease their concerns here?
Well, we seem to be in a panic mode, and I would encourage people to not panic, but be prepared. I would venture to say that our children in school who have been in contact with the regular teachers, administrators on a daily basis are that's fewer contacts than they would if they were out of school. If they're out of school, they're going to be traveling around the city, they're going to be doing things that even maybe their parents don't know. And the contact there, I think their chances are better, you know, if they're in a school. And so I think that we're well prepared for that. Our nurses and we've sent information to our principals. Our principals are our key. They have to be those people who make this school operate right and correctly and safely. And I think that they may make decisions that, and we give them the autonomy to make these decisions that are good for students. Thank y'all very much. Again, I want to thank you for